sanctuary.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise live here from the Opera House, and wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. On the 21st of December of each year, a shaft of sunlight illuminates the usual dark sanctum of the Karnak Temple, an ancient complex in the southern city of Luxor, in a rare astronomical phenomena that happens actually twice a year to mark the summer and winter. Tourists gather to watch this spectacular that has endured for thousands of years the Egyptian history. The religious complex of Karnak in Luxor is the largest ancient religious site in the world. And Egyptologists say that the solar alignment of course, that happens and takes place in the phenomena is one very special one, and the event marks the beginning of the winter and is an astronomical event that takes place in the northern hemisphere, marking the longest night and the shortest day of the year. And in this aspect and in this context, and of course, as much as tourism is very important, dear viewers, to us all as Egyptians and for the stability of Egypt, we have with us today Mr. Walid Batouty, a former consultant of tourism minister, area representative for the World Federation Tourist Guides Association of North Africa and the Middle East. A very good day, sir, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's
to
a great day.
discuss this very important phenomena that takes place, as we said, twice a year.
Thank you. As I said, it's a
Batouty,
great
thank
day.
you for joining us. Indeed, unprecedented astronomical phenomena that happen only in Egypt. So, how do we use them, Mr. Batouty, to market tourism in our beautiful country?
Well, the oldest one that we know of is the one that takes place in Abu Simbel, and this one was already marketed and everybody knows about it. I could say maybe 15, 20 years, we started to have this one that people started to notice that it happens in the Temple of Karnak. And over the years, they started to promote this, and it has people from all over the world. First of all, it doesn't have much of tourism that comes particularly to it like Abu Simbel. Abu Simbel has its own thing that happens, you know, the sun lighting, the sanctuary of the temple of Abu Simbel on the 21st of February and the 21st of October. This is in the old location. When we save the temple, it happens on the 22nd now. We couldn't have it on the same date. So a lot of people started to study that this may have something to do with other temples and certain other dates. And apparently, as they've been watching this, they found that it happens in other places in Egypt. So maybe this is a new thing that we didn't know, that the Egyptians really located the sanctuaries of all the temples or the statues according to things get to do this. And the minute you start this issue, you have people from around the world, they start to follow. And once, one year after the other, it starts to have, see, the people, I believe that they will watch it tomorrow. They'll be there because that's their tour.
How is it their tour, sir, and how do we promote this?
Well, we have many different aspects. There is some travel companies, this is their job. We're talking on the private sector. The Egyptian government and the tourism authority, they definitely put this on their agenda and they work on it with the agents. And, you know, the policy now is we have international, we have foreign agents abroad that they take our campaign in different countries. We started not to have one company, but we have different other companies around the world, media, social media and things like this, and they take the portion, and we know this one is the best or the number one in England, this one is the best one in Italy, things like this. So we're moving with them individually. I see it, it's very good that the Egyptian government is changing the strategy, and we're working where we can really get tourism. Right now we have the peak, thank God, in a few markets. We're still waiting for some other markets for a reason or another. And there is a very famous joke is going these days about the British, because the British, we don't have any explanation why they're not in Egypt. And it was a big mistake to ask a British person, have you been to Egypt? They say never ask a British person, have you been to Egypt? Ask them how many times you've been to Egypt. Same goes for Poland. I was once in Poland, and the Egyptian ambassador, someone came and I said, have you been to Egypt? He said, no, don't answer. Don't ask people in Poland Have you been to Egypt? Just ask them how many times you've been to Egypt. This goes for the Russians. This goes. Right now we have different markets. It's opening in Egypt, and we're doing a great job. Thanks to the Ministry of Tourism, thanks to the Ministry of Defense, thanks to the Ministry of Interior, thanks to the Minister of Antiquity. We have a great Minister of Antiquity that now Egypt with positive news. I've been in the market, I've been in the business for the last 29 years. So I can say that I understand, I know. It's very good to be in the world news every day or every week with positive news, always positive and attractive at the same time. A discovery in Saqqara, a tomb of a priest, and we found all the documentation got to do with mummification. So immediately this attracts a number of people around the world, because now we might be able to reveal the secret of mummification that in the year 2018, we still don't know how did the Egyptian did the mummification. Okay? But we might now. The Egyptian Museum just had a display of the treasure of Yoya and Toya, and one of the longest papyrus in the world. It's on display. So this will have people that will say, well, I got to go to Egypt. I just finished a tour a couple of days ago, and I have one of the clients, she's 94 years old, God bless her. And she said to me, Walid, I wish God gives me more time, because I want to be, and promise me, I want to be at the first day of the opening of Grand Egyptian Museum. She's planning, and she asked me like 6, 7, 8 times during our trip, do you know the exact timing? And this woman is saying, would I live to see it? I wish I can.
Where is she from?
She's from the United States. She's from California.
She's going to come all the way from the United States?
She's going to come back. It's not all the way anymore. It's a matter of 10 hours from New York to Cairo. It's 10 hours on the national carrier. And we're promoting this, and we have very smart businessmen. This is a very important fact. Americans is promoting Egypt because Egypt is a destination where they make money. Egypt is a win card.
How do they make money through Egypt?
Of course, Egypt is. If they sell you a tour from the United States to Europe, they're going to make $35 profit, $40 at the most. But in Egypt, they make $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $1,000 profit per person. So Egypt is a very profitable.
I'm really enjoying listening to you, Mr. Batouty, and you're answering basically all of the questions that we wanted to ask you. But let me ask you to further put into detail, why is Egypt the place to be at the end of the year, despite the fact, of course, that the last days of December are full of joyful moments for the whole world. But why specifically Egypt in this time of year?
Egypt is a destination that is amazing with everything. Today is the 20th of December, right? And we're sitting with a shirt and a blazer, and I've seen the guest sitting before me. He was just with his shirt. Where in the world do you get such a weather like this? And we're sitting in the open air, and I mean, in this time, in any place in the world, I just saw a documentary this morning on one of the TV channels, international, and they're showing the coldest place in the world, 73 degrees Celsius below zero.
Where was this?
It's somewhere in Russia. No, nearby Siberia. There was one, I don't recall the name, but I said I have to recall the name because they're showing 63%, and then the 73 degrees Celsius has 500 inhabitants. So, and it's showing the people, and their eyelashes are frozen and things like this. Where do you get a weather like this? And people, tourists can use the pool, and some they go to the beach at this time of the year in Egypt. Very friendly people. A most amazing thing. I mean, today you're in Saqqara. We're visiting you're just doing a normal tour, and then suddenly you see 15, 16 cars with flags. Those are ambassadors, and the Minister of Antiquity coming. And then they ask the tour guide, "What's going on?" Well, I don't know. Let me ask you. Ask, and then the minister says, "Oh, come, bring your tourists." Is very friendly, because, to be honest with you, our Minister of Antiquity was originally a tour guide. Okay. Yes. So he understands this moment and what does it mean to the other tourists. So he says, come, bring your people, let them look. We just discovered a tomb and we're going to announce it to the world now. So imagine you were doing a tour And then you're going to go home telling the people, I was there in the discovery.
In that historic moment. Yeah.
This is exactly what happened with me. And His Excellency says, oh, Walid, please bring your people. Let them share the moment. This is for them. And to be smart in your wording, it's very important. When you stand and address the world and say, this is world heritage, let's share it with everyone. This belongs to the world. It's in Egypt. We cannot change this fact. It's in Egypt. It's the oldest civilization in the world. And gradually, you tell the people, Egypt, where it's all begun. And it's true. In everything, we're the first people know about beer and wine. We're the first people to know about necklaces. We're the first people. We're a country that we used to give. Egypt was don't forget that Egypt was the breadbasket of Europe.
Right.
So we have lots of things. The weather is factor number one. The hard currency, the equivalent is extremely good. Food, now we upgraded the food, the resorts, the hotels, everything. It's beautiful. I wish next year we do have an unbelievable New Year's Eve on the Nile, everywhere on the Nile, like the Hudson River on the 4th of July in the United States. Let's do one. How much are we going to spend? Let's do a beautiful one on the Nile. Every hotel in Egypt has to participate in it. And let's have, and for you and me and you as Egyptians, we could sit somewhere in the Nile, have a coffee in the street for free. Let's have the joy. Let's have the pleasure. Let's be optimistic. Our country is getting there. I'm a very optimistic person, and I see that we're going. I took a picture 2 weeks ago. No, actually a week ago, and I would like to share it with you. Is when I get to the temple of Edfu, a guy came up to me and he has $400 in singles, and he says, "Mister, can they make this in 20s or 50s or 100? Because he wants to, he doesn't want to go to the bank with singles." This is very good. That means the dollar is in the hand of people. The euro is in the hand of people. The English pound is in the hand of people. The yen, everything. And that's the beauty of tourism, and that's the beauty of peace. We are the first people to address peace in the world. From the time of the Ramesses II, with after the Battle of Kadesh, the first peace treaty in the world is recorded in Egypt. And I urge all my fellow guides to emphasize in this. President Sadat, God bless his soul, he's the first one who took the initiative of peace. We are peace people. So we have to bring out the best of us and tell the people about it and promote Egypt. I promote now the Egyptian food.
Mr. Walid, about promoting Egypt, the role of media and social media in promoting tourism and Egypt.
I tell you something. I personally, I watch TV most of the time, and I can tell. Nile TV, I'm not giving you the compliment because I'm sitting on air. Nile TV International you've done a great change, unbelievable change in everything, and your level is 1,000% more better than before. From someone who I sit and watch, I have it at home. It's when I turn my TV on, it's the first thing I get to see what is on Nile TV International, and then I flick on the other TV channels. I like to watch the news. I like to watch your programs. It's very informative for me. And I said to the head of Nile TV, yes, I told her a few times. I said, listen, something happened. I mean, I don't know what you did, but you're doing a great job, and the TV channel is very attractive. And I wish that everyone, I know that foreigners, expats that lives in Egypt, they watch it. I know they watch it, and they tell me sometimes, they say, "Oh, we've seen you on TV." So I know that they watch it.
Do they watch it because you're on TV?
No,
they're watching it in general?
No, they watch it in general. I swear, I did not tell anybody that I'm coming on air today. But I know they will call me right after the program. They say, "Oh, we saw you on TV." They do watch it. They leave it in their office, and they watch it. It's in English, and it tells them the news about Egypt. It tells them programs. It tells them very useful info. You've been invited to all the discoveries, the new discoveries. I'm not giving you the. I mean, I'm the wrong person to speak about Nile TV because I like Nile TV.
No, you're not the wrong person.
You
I'm very
mentioned
thankful, of course, that you're telling us this at the end of 2018 and at the start of a new year, which is 2019. You're giving us a tremendous, of course, and an amazing boost. And of course, as you said, under the leadership of Taghreed Hussein,
And everybody, and everybody.
that took
I mean, the
part.
camera, the cameraman behind is doing a great job. The person who gave me the mic is doing a great job. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Mr. Batouty, you just mentioned the discoveries, and the word discoveries. I want our viewers to know what were the most amazing monuments discoveries from your point of view made in 2018.
Ooh. Well, there is a tomb of an high official female by the pyramids. I think it was in April. I was invited to it. And this changed everything completely. Now we know that women did reach high official position in engineering. I mean, she was definitely either because the tomb is still under study. She was either a chief of engineers or she was a chief of workers. We assumed the first one more. And to have a tomb and a mastaba in that place, that means she was an high official. So women...
We knew that women were queens. We had Queen Hatshepsut, and we had...
the title
Nefertiti
queen...
is the most famous female figure in the world, I guess.
No. There's even more than this.
Yeah.
Hatep is the mother
Yeah.
of Cheops. There is. I mean...
Yeah.
We should one time make a program about,
about
the role of
pharaonic
women.
women,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. They have done a great job. I mean, the best foreign affair happened in ancient Egyptian history was during the time of Queen Hatshepsut. The grandparents of Akhenaten, the wife of Tutankhamun, even though she's minor, she's small, but lots of things happen. Egypt, you can tell stories. And that's what I always tell my fellow guides. Tell stories all the time in the bus. You know, we have a problem with traffic now. Unfortunately, we have a big problem with traffic. And that's the one drawback.
We're working on it, aren't we? We are.
But Mr. Batouty, I see that the problem with traffic is all over, everywhere, all over the world. It's not about Egypt only.
Wallahi, I swear to God.
America with the carpool, we have problems. When I go to the United Kingdom, I see problems with the traffic.
Tell me
It's
where
horrible.
in the world that you've seen in the United States or in England somebody driving in the wrong direction on a highway. That's what kills me. That's what kills me.
That's Egyptians.
Yeah, this is only one thing. But we have to really work on ourselves. Even if the United States does it, even if England does it, I don't care about the others. We really got to work on ourselves. Yesterday I went into one of these phone companies. I'm sorry, I'm sharing.
But I guess, of course, Mr. Batouty, that all of the spending that's being done in the infrastructure and roads and bridges are designed basically, among other
We're doing
things,
good.
to deal with the traffic problem, other than, of course, boost the economy. And
I got to tell you, I mean, the other day I had a meeting in Garden City, and I looked at my watch and I said, no way I'll make it. No way I'll make it. But I told the driver to drop me by the subway, and it took me 21 minutes sharp. 21 minutes.
there's always a solution.
You rode
Sure.
the subway?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, it's only £5.
And it's not about the 5 pounds. It's about about the cleanliness.
It's
and the,
air conditioned.
and the-
I have to tell you, it's
Yes.
air conditioned, and it's fantastic, and it's beautiful, and it was a great ride. I got into town. I hopped in a short cab that took me to the place where I'm doing my meeting. I was there on timing. Everything was fine. Why not?
You gave me a good idea to go to the TV if I'm stuck.
Of course, hop in the subway, and you can time it. You can time it. I've already timed it before. Let's use the Nile. I wish we could use the Nile.
Ferries, yeah.
Ferries and Nile taxi and everything. Let's do the Nile. The Nile is great. We can do this, and we have people. It opens jobs and gives people, an extra chance of a job and everything. But there is one thing that I really want to share with you and the viewers, which is, why would an American guest come on a tour and then tells me that in Egypt we're doing a great study on who has virus C and who's diabetes, and they know even more than us. They read about it there, and they said this is great. So I emphasized about it because I did read about it, of course, and I told them, we're getting numbers, and now we discovered that there is not the hepatitis C is the number one thing. We have people with diabetes, people with high blood pressure. I mean, it's great, but in order to think of, they have been reading about you. People are following. What are we doing? I have heard from an economist that our economy is one of the strongest, fifth one of the strongest five growing economy in the world, Egypt. This is very good, and it makes me optimistic. I know it's a little bit hard these days, but let me do one thing through your TV, because I always tell people, please, anybody who works in tourism, stop smoking. We should not smoke. Let's have a campaign. And I hope it starts from Nile TV International and it spreads out. I mean, things that you do on your TV, on your channel, might go to the other local broadcasting that they talk all night. Let them pick it up from you and be the leader in this one. Let's have a campaign against smoking. Let's have a healthy people.
Yes, at least we can make a non-smoking campaign at least indoors. Mr. Walid, what are the sites which receive most tourists in Christmas vacations?
To be honest, everywhere. Now, we cannot really precise and say, because, for example, I am working on New Year's Eve in Cairo, but my guest is flying because their party, it's going to be in Aswan on the Nile, and the same hotel where they had the movie, or the lady, she wrote the Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. You know which hotel now I'm talking about. It's a hotel in Aswan that it's been very popular even for Egyptians. So they booked and they worked out their itinerary that New Year's Eve they want to be in Egypt. I mean, I even wondered, I said, why do I do the museum in the morning and maybe we can rest and fly the following day? They said, no. They're asked particularly, and they have a costume from the 50s. They're going to wear this. I mean, there is a theme for this. There's a party in one of the hotels. So yesterday I got a call from people from Lebanon. They want to come to Egypt, to Sharm el-Sheikh. All over. And the new thing is coming, Marsa Alam. Boy.
And of course, Gona has been booming for many years.
Gona is a Gona. Yani, we're done with this one. Gona promotes itself. It has the Egyptians, the upscale Egyptians. Look, Shara Muaz Street, sorry.
I love this street.
It's lovely place.
And I always say that Alexandria should be a destination in the winter as well, not just for in the summer. Alexandria and the northern coast are one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Fayoum.
I guess. And if we have to, I'm sorry, Mr. Batouty, but we have to end it here. Our time is up. We hope to see you again here on Nile Cruise.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to
Mr. Walid Batouty, we thank you so much for enriching, of course, this amazing episode and this amazing segment of Nile Cruise. And we wish you, of course, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thank you for joining us in today's episode of Nile Cruise.
We'll be watching now violinist Rasha Yahya orchestrating and playing. So let's watch and listen in and come back here from the Egyptian Opera House.